Do you have a vision board for your manifesting and somehow it's not having the same results you had hoped? Today's session is all about getting that vision board to help you manifest your dreams bigger, faster now. Hey everyone, it's Acacia, the CEO Legal Coach, and this is the Aligned Business Series where we go live 3 times a week answering your questions live. So make sure you find your chat. I will be sure to answer all of your questions. But we're also talking about practical solutions today because a vision board is not just about, oh, does it make you feel good? Is it pretty? No. It is a true manifesting tool. And as you'll see here in a moment, it's more than just a tool. It's part of the process. So find your chat. We will, hey Mary, hey Bob, how are you guys? And we will definitely get your questions answered. But let's jump for a second into why does this really matter? Because I've been creating vision boards for years. And I've got somebody, one of my neighbors, she's also a spiritual coach and advisor, and she sometimes holds vision boarding sessions. And we've talked about where do we think things are going right or wrong. And she originally was just doing her sessions, and then I kind of gave her some insight. She goes, that makes so much sense. That really explains a lot. I'm going to integrate this into mine. And those are the types of things I'm going to share with you today. Because a vision board is, okay, let's take a step back for a second. Why do a lot of people create vision boards? One, we're told to. You're supposed to. It's a nice arts and crafts activity. It's something pretty to make. We get to look at pretty things. All of that is not manifesting. All of that is not manifesting. What is manifesting? Manifesting is deciding what you want and bringing it into your reality right here, right now. Right here, right now. And where a majority of the work in manifesting is not deciding what you want, but finding and removing the blocks between here and there. Finding and removing the blocks between here and there. Because if it's what you've been called to have in your life, you're meant to have it. And the only reason you wouldn't have it is there's a block. So how does your vision board play into that? First off, your vision board is part of manifesting. It's part of manifesting. It is not a step you take to help you manifest. It is not something you're like, well, I should do this. This sounds like a nice tool or an easy thing to do. Let me do that. No. For example, this is one that really had an impact on me. I'll tell you a personal story here in a second. And that is the idea of having literal images. This is the number one mistake I see people make with their vision boards. This is not about looking pretty on the board. This is not about things that make me feel warm and fuzzy. You want to have literal images, not a house that reminds you of the one you want or that kind of feels like the one you want. You want a photo of the house you want. You want a photo of the house you want. You want a photo of the couch you want. You want a photo literal. Why? Because you're giving your brain mixed signals when it's not literally what you want. Let's say, for example, you have a beautiful home on there. You're like, I love this home. This is a multi-million-dollar home. I want to manifest a home just like that. What are you doing? You're saying, universe, I'm going to focus my energy and my mindset and my subconscious on this. But this isn't actually what I want. I want this over here. So first off, you're clouding and giving mixed messages to what you're saying to the universe. Right then and there. You're also trying to divert your energy. This, but really this. That's an extra step in your energy and in your manifesting. So as you do that, you are diluting your ability to manifest. So when those pictures aren't literally what you're after, they dilute and add confusion to your message, decreasing your likelihood of success. You want literal. So if those pictures aren't literally what you want, get them off your board and go find ones that are literal to what you want. And I'm going to bring up 2 points here. First is, what about words? Are you trying to manifest the word jackpot in your life? Or are you trying to manifest the jackpot in your bank account? Are you trying to manifest the lottery win? When it comes to words and numbers, be mindful of what you're doing with them and what they're doing on your board. Numbers are fine. Numbers are one of the best ways I've ever manifested money, especially big chunks pretty quickly. But I'm also letting go of the how. I'm not saying, universe, I want $20,000 in salary, or I want $20,000 in clients. I either focus on the dollar amount, and that's the number, or I'm focusing on those clients, that product sales, whatever it is, right? Do we see how when we're giving those mixed messages, or we're diluting those messages in what we're saying to the universe, we end up reducing our effectiveness with the vision board? Now, what if you don't know literally what you want, or you can't really find it? Gone through enough magazines and online searches and you can't find the damn thing. I've had this happen. It's actually happened with my home that I have right now. I was able to envision I'm going to have this beautiful view, and it's going to have a beautiful skyline, and it's going to be blue hour at night. It's going to be perfect. I'm going to have a kitchen that looks like this, and a couch that looks like that, and a bedroom that feels like this. But then I had to be like, but what is that view? What is that view of? And I leaned into it more and more. And I could be like, well, it's the Vegas skyline. Okay, it's the Vegas skyline. Am I right next to the skyline? Like, no, but I'm not far away from it. I don't know. But I started creating a vision board. And as I was finding pictures, one came up. And my brain was like, you're never going to live over there. You don't want to live over there. But my heart just screamed, that's it. That's the view. That's the view from the place. And I'm like, I don't even know if that's a view from a place. That might be a hotel. I don't even know where it's coming from. But it's like, that's the view. That's the view. That's the view. And I was like, okay. My heart and my soul, my energy knew. So I put it on my vision board. 3 days later, I'm putting an offer in for a place that has that exact view. That is now my view. And it's one that my brain was like, that's not what we could think of, because manifesting isn't what you can think. It's what you're called to do, called to have, called to live, called to experience. And so this is one of the things about the literal images. If I put a general picture of the Vegas skyline, I wouldn't have actually had all the pieces together, locking and elevating me in that yes, yes, yes moment. And so that's what was very important, is knowing what I could envision and connect with from within versus the searching for those images. And that's part of when you're searching for the images. Trust the energy and the vibes. Do not think this. Your manifesting board creation, if you're called to create one, then you're meant to have everything you need to make it a success, right? It's the same as trying to manifest anything. It's not like only your dreams get manifested. Everything you do, everything you say, everything you live is manifested from you. So if your energy is in alignment to make that great board that brings that great manifesting moment in your life, well, then everything you need to make that board the way it's meant to be is right here, right now. And so notice when you can't find that picture, or when that different picture calls to you. Energetic signals might be signaling blocks or outer resistance from the universe trying to nudge you in a way that's going to make it come about faster and easier. Okay, so that's one of the first things that I end up having a lot when I work with people on their vision boards, is you want those pictures and those things to be literal. Then, of course, how you feel when you found that image. We just kind of talked about this, but it is very important to know that it's not just, oh, that's kind of nice, or that's pretty. I did this when I was, working on my style, my personal style. I noticed that I'd always find on Pinterest those really cute outfits on others, and I love the style. But when I put it on me, it didn't feel right, or it didn't look right. So I took a step back and was like, okay, well, what feels right on me? What makes me feel the way I want to feel? And let's go find the pictures out of that. And suddenly my whole wardrobe changed almost overnight. And it's been fun. It's been fabulous. It's been amazing because I feel more like me. I have noticed that I'm not judging myself or my body when I'm looking at pictures of cute, adorable outfits on people. But some people are toothpicks. Some people are short. Some people have the hourglass. Some people have the pear shape or the apple. I love me and I get to be me and I get to feel fabulous being me. So, how do those images make you feel? Really, really important as you are creating that vision board, building on the first point of it being literal, building on that maybe you don't know exactly what literally that picture is supposed to be, but you definitely can feel if it's the right picture or not. And then this next one also comes from a personal story I had. It's when I went to Antarctica. And the whole point of this lesson, this third point, is, does it feel like you want it? Does it feel like a nice to have? Or does it feel like a holy fucking shit, yes, this is mine? And the story I'm going to tell is Antarctica. So Antarctica is something that in Patagonia were things I've been wanting to do for years. And I'm going to guesstimate somewhere around 7 years because I don't know when the dream really started. I just know that the dream kept getting pushed back and pushed back because I didn't have the time off. Then there was the money. And then there was all of these things. It just kept adding up. I never got to go. But then I went on my mom's bucket list trip for her birthday. And she comes back. She's like, okay, it's time to go on your bucket list trip. And my bucket list trip was Antarctica, which is not cheap at all, right? I just no. And if I'm going to go down there, I'm going to do it right. And if I'm going to spend all that money, and she goes, okay, it's time to book it. I was like, no, you don't book Antarctica, Mom. You leave it on the pedestal. That's my dream. That's meant to be left as that thing I yearn for, that thing I always get to dream about. If without that, what's going to fill my daydreaming every day? And this is when she kind of simply says, no, if you're supposed to go, you go. You book it. And so we booked the trip. I didn't have the money. I didn't have anything, but we sat down with the agents and we looked at the right ones and we put down the basic deposit. And now I had 2.5 years because this was happening in my life. Antarctica was no longer something I wanted to happen in my life. Antarctica was happening in my life. And that's the way you want your vision board to be as well. Because I've had this a lot in manifesting where it starts to be a wondering, am I calling in what I want or am I just foreseeing my future? I've had moments like that where visions pop into my head and then they happen that same day or that week. And I'm like, which came first, the chicken or the egg kind of a thing? Did I envision that because I wanted it, or was I being shown my future for what was already aligned to what my energy and my vibes? And we want the same for your vision board. Your vision board is not meant to be a pedestal. It is not meant to be a someday view of through the window. That is not what it is. It is meant to, this is my shit right here, right now. I'm stepping into this. I know I've locked it in because nothing can stop it. That feeling of being locked in. It's not a desire. It's not a dream. It is your truth and it's happening. That is the way you want your vision board to feel. And if it doesn't feel like that, there's either a block or it's not the right calling for you, okay? Or it's not the right calling for you. I call that your soul goal. And I have a whole program about just finding your soul goal. It's a 3-day program because so many times, I'd say about 80% of the time, people are actually going after the wrong goal. You can get to your end goal and collapse it, quantum leap it that much faster by ignoring the things between. By ignoring the things between and actually going for your soul goal, because your soul is what's meant to live through you, not your vision board, not your, daily tasks, not that, okay, well, I need you to get this raise at work so then I can do that. You don't live so you can get a raise at work. You live for why you want the raise at work. Where does that lead you? That's what matters. And then you start to question, did I ever need the raise at work to begin with? Most of the time, no. And if you are meant to, you'll get it automatically. Had that happen in less than 10 days before. So this is why it's really important to realign your vision board. Realign it Toss out the pieces that don't be literal, right? There's not a sentence, but if they're not literal, toss them. Toss them. They're sending mixed messages. That includes words, numbers, anything, unless it's literally what you are after, right? How did you feel when you found the image? Did you like, yes, I'm locked in. That's the one. That's the one. That's what I meant to have. And then what does it feel like? Is it still the someday? Is it still because what you're doing is reinforcing it to stay off in the distance. Someday is not a day on the calendar. It's not like, oh, someday 2026. That's not a day on the calendar. So someday vibes are not allowed in manifesting. We don't want them. They're not part of manifesting. So I've got my manifesting guide on the screen. It's absolutely free if that's something any of you want. It goes through all of this type of stuff. It's not designed for vision boards, although it does comment on them. It's got some of these notes in there. But what's really important is that as business owners, we manifest differently. We understand certain things about how to bring a vision about. We already feel so called to bringing our passions into the world. We created a company. But then we also have so many different areas of energetic balance we have to take on. So we manifest very differently in how we use and align our energy. And that's what that guide is designed to do. All right, are we ready for our Q&A? I see some of them on there. Let's get to them. Sarah, what if I can't find the exact image I have in my head? Okay. What if I can't find the exact image? Either you have a block about making your manifesting board, your vision board, right? Because you're manifesting all of this. You're manifesting the lack of image. So either you're looking for the wrong image and the universe is trying to show you that, like, hey, that's not really what you're after. You're after something like this. Just like with my Vegas view. I'm like, that's not what my brain would have said I was looking for. But the second I saw that image, I was like, that's the one. And sure enough, that's what come about in my life that week. So if you can't find the exact image, it's either some part of you that doesn't believe it, which I doubt it because you're just looking for images, or it's the universe giving you little images that, let go of trying to hold on to that so tightly and see if there's something else beyond it or more enhanced to it that you didn't realize you were actually being called for. Can I use words instead of pictures? It's not that you can't use words. It's what are you trying to manifest? Are you trying to literally manifest that word? Or is that word a communication to your subconscious? What are you doing with the word? Why is it on the board? What's the connection to it? Because a vision board shows the mind and the subconscious what you want to appear. So having the word jackpot or lottery winner doesn't actually make you tell your subconscious you want to be the jackpot winner or the lottery winner. That would be a different vibe. That would be a different visual of what's going on around you, different feeling inside. Where at the same time, if you need to tell your subconscious love is real, then it's okay to have those words on it. Love is real, love is real, love is real, love is real. So when it comes to sort of an affirmation, that is okay. But also realize an affirmation is going to have a different energy than what you're literally trying to call in those images. It's all about your energy. So I don't want to step in and answer your energy is this, but trust your energy. How does it feel? Why is the word there? And go with that. Trust that, especially if you can put an actual vision of what you literally want, that will be more potent 9 out of 10 times. What if I feel resistance when I look at my board? Okay, we feel resistance. That is a huge cue right there. Huge cue right there. So what is the resistance? Is the resistance maybe your subconscious or your energy telling you this board isn't right? Maybe you've made a board that you thought was supposed to be done, or one that made sense the day you made it. Maybe it was an arts and crafts project, and that was cool. That was fun, but that doesn't mean you have to literally look at it every day, all day. Ask yourself, what about this doesn't feel right to me? And just sit there and listen. Just hear the message. It might be one of the images is off. It might be you're not supposed to use a vision board right now. It might be there's a different route to how I want you to go. This is what your soul is speaking to you here. So it's feedback, but we also want to remove any blocks, any resistance vibes we have in our lives. So it's also something that you want to get rid of ASAP, because you don't attract what you want if you know you're resisting it, or there's something about your day-to-day life that is resisting your success. We want to remove that. That's a block. That is a block. Get it out of there. And I would normally do that by listening to my heart. Just give yourself, sometimes that answer can come up in like 3 seconds. It doesn't take like a full day of meditating to answer that, especially if you already feel it. It means your brain doesn't want to hear it. So give the brain a little break. Say, thank you, brain. I love you. You've been amazing. But right now I need to hear the rest of me. It's got a message that I think is important for us. And then see what your body and your soul say. How many images should I have? Okay. How many images should you have? What does it take to be potent? If one image is all it takes to be potent, then have one image. Because, and I think I saw this question earlier. Let me see if it's still in there. When you have a lot of busyness on your board, you're, again, shifting your energy at all these different places. You're saying this and this and that, and the universe is like, wait, what do you want right now? It's like having a Christmas list of 45 things and Santa being like, I can give you 7 right now. Which are the 7 you want right now? Now, of course, manifesting, the universe will give you anything and everything at all times. So I don't want to say that the universe is more powerful than Santa Claus. But the idea is you don't want the chaos. Manifesting is streamlining. The whole point you made your vision board was to be more effective, to streamline, to increase your potency and effectiveness. That's what you want to do. Okay. So that's what's important here. The second it starts to be too cluttered, get it out of there. Focus. Because sometimes it is a lot easier to focus on those 1 or 2 images, get them, and then put the next layer in. So feel into that. What is that? It's not about quantity, but being mindful of the energetic impact it's having. Sometimes surrounding us with something can elevate it more, but other times it can feel like chaos. Everyone's minds are different. What does it feel like to you? Should I make separate boards for different areas of my life, like love, health, career, and money? You're not trying to have just this career and just this money and just this health. You're trying to build a life, a lifestyle. They are not mutually exclusive from one another. I bet when you're healthier, you're going to feel happier and more confident. You're probably going to wear different clothes and feel different in those clothes, which is going to make sure you have a different type of job and career and success. And they all work together. The different parts of your life are not mutually exclusive. And so back to the overwhelming the energetic lines. If you're like, hey, I want this page is all about success, and then this page is all about my health. It's different vibe you're sending to the universe, even though it's collective. You want a vision board that represents what you're after right here, right now. Back to the literal images, lock it in, take it off that pedestal. How do those images make you feel? You should have a collective vibe for your lifestyle, for your life, not this is my career, this is that. They're not separate in your life. Therefore, I would recommend trying to do it collectively. And it'll also probably help you find those superfluous pictures as well. Like, oh, maybe that part of the health really isn't part of the bigger picture for me. This is. Or like I said, when I was, doing my styling and my outfits, it's like, you know what? That doesn't really fit into this vision for my life. We can leave that off the page now. So allow it to be collective in your life because you want an elevated life that makes you happy and is abundant and full of love and laughter, not one that is one thing at a time, right? All right, I think I got everyone's questions right. I love it. I love it. All right, guys, this has been Acacia, the CEO Legal Coach. We go live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I will see you there.